If you're suffering with panic attacks, they can be extremely frightening. People around you who haven't ever suffered with one simply just won't understand what it feels like or what is happening to you. Often, if you have suffered panic attacks, you can find yourself in a constant state of fear, even expecting another one to come along and catch you out at any time. That can lead you to many adaptations in your normal routines and behaviours, just in case you have another. Your mind, as everybody's is designed to protect you. It is constantly monitoring the outside world. It's looking for matches to things in the past that have hurt you, scared you, or where you've even felt out of control. Sometimes even where there's been sudden unexpected things that your mind has perceived as a threat. It is a bit like having a car accident, as an example. Every time you drive toward a place where you had the incident in the past, you begin to feel and recall what happened, and those negative feelings will surface with those memories. But what if your mind is storing lots of memories of negative experience which on their own seem minor when you look at them individually? The mind is constantly collecting negative references, and these, with their emotional attachments, they build up in the background. If there's a lot of specific references which are the same, such as, for example, a boss or a colleague, a friend, parent or sibling or whatever, that is a constant bully, for example, then this can escalate. They build up in the background to the point where you experience a panic attack, which is triggered by that person or individual. Or often it can happen in a particular situation, such as having a meeting with or a one-to-one with a person, a conversation with that person. The emotional system then kicks in to protect you. And that is where specific panic attacks will come from, which you'll be aware of those triggers. When or if, on the other hand, you experience panic attacks which seem completely random and you cannot attribute the panic attack to a specific trigger, it is because your mind has reached a point where there are so many different fears and references that it's using in the background from any number of different things that have happened in your past. And what your mind is doing is it's associating them to your experiences that you're having on a day-to-day basis. You won't be consciously aware of what your mind is doing in the background. All you will actually be aware of is how you feel and how you are compelled to react in any given situation. It can be one of the most frightening experiences to have panic attacks which happen for no apparent or obvious reasons. In the very first instance, if you ever experience these feelings of panic attacks, the first thing to do is to seek medical advice. Often it may feel like you're having a heart attack or something very major is actually happening to your physical body. These things can include palpitations, trembling and shaking and many other physical symptoms. First of all, get medical assistance to ensure and rule out anything physical. Your doctor will likely advise you to take medication in the short term, and this will help. They will also likely refer you to counselling or CBT. These are almost all of the tools that they have in their limited arsenal of dealing with these sorts of issues. Counselling and CBT, they're useful, but they won't actually fix that deeper seated unconscious perception that's going on in the background beyond your conscious awareness. These tools of CBT and counselling, they might push it back and take the edge off it, but it is unlikely that you will actually get a full recovery. Some people might, and that will be great, but for many, it is my experience that when people come to me, it is because they have been through the system and they still haven't resolved the actual background issues that is driving the problem. This is one of 4 areas that I've specialised in for over 12 years, and it requires exploration of that deeper part of the mind to resolve fully. So rather than your everyday conscious perception of dealing with things in a conscious, logical way, such as using counselling or CBT. What I've done is I've posted here on YouTube a breathing technique that can be very useful, and it works great as a temporary coping mechanism. It won't actually cure panic attacks, but it will help to make certain situations far more manageable for you. The video is actually entitled Technique for Reducing Anxiety. There's another useful technique, but it's a conscious mechanism. And what you would need to do is basically, if you ever feel one coming on, is just to basically tell yourself in your mind that the feelings that you're experiencing, they're historic, they're out of date and out of context. Again, this is not going to fix the problem, but if you use it in tandem with the breathing technique, it really can help you to cope and manage in certain situations and take the edge off of the feelings. So I hope that you found something of use in this video. There are other videos on this channel that you or someone you know might well benefit from. There'll be more videos soon, so do please feel free just to take a look, and collectively I hope that you find a way to live the life you deserve. You can find all of my information in the description below.